Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss Vygotsky's theory of development. This Vygotsky's theory is known as socio-cultural development. Now, Vygotsky has closely identified with the socio-cultural theory. Now, Vygotsky was of the opinion that social and your cultural background has an impact on your development. So this is what we are going to see in this theory. So Vygotsky was a Russian psychologist and the teacher who developed a theory about how our social interactions influence our cognitive development. And it was known as socio-cultural theory of cognitive development. So he had that belief that our social and cultural influences do impact our cognitive development. So he developed a socio-cultural approach to the children's development, and this theory was developed around the same time as Jean Piaget was starting to develop his ideas. So according to Vygotsky, no single principle can account for the development of growing children. So there is a combination. Many things are affecting for the development of a growing child. So individual development cannot be understood without understanding or without giving a reference to its social and cultural context within which it is embedded. So if you want to understand the development of a child, किसी भी व्यक्ति का अगर कॉग्निटिव डेवलपमेंट को समझना है तो हमें उसका सोशल और कल्चरल बैकग्राउंड भी समझना होगा, क्योंकि सोशल और कल्चरल बैकग्राउंड जो है वो उसके कॉग्निटिव डेवलपमेंट पे असर करता है. So development of a child is in various dimensions or aspects of his personality. तो हमारा जो है development of higher mental processes and all this development, it has its origin somewhere in the socio-cultural processes. This is what Vygotsky is thinking. So Vygotsky's social development theory says that a child's cognitive development and learning ability can be guided and mediated by their social interactions. So, with the help of social interactions, you can enhance the cognitive development or the learning ability of the child. Okay, so it states that learning is crucially a social process as opposed to an independent journey of discovery. So, it is not independent. Whatever you are learning in the social context. Okay, so child's learning is benefited greatly from being guided by a more knowledgeable member of the community, such as a parent or a teacher. So whatever learning you are taking that is taking place, you must have seen that a child who is grown in a family of more people learns the language early, learns to walk early. Okay. He is more active compared to the other children, where in the family there are very few numbers, because the social interactions which is taking place in the house is helping him. And here he also gave one concept of more knowledgeable member. So this we will take it later on. So Vygotsky's socio-cultural theory suggests that children internalize and learn from the beliefs and attitudes that they witness around them. So you may have seen that some children are very introvert, some are very extrovert, some believes in certain ethos, some believes in certain value system. So how does it come? Like a person who is born and brought up in a Muslim family will learn to do namaz. A person who is born and brought up in a Hindu family will go to temple and knows how to do puja. So from where he has learned? This he has picked up from the socio-cultural background in which he has been brought up. So he believed that culture plays an important role in shaping the cognitive development. And therefore, the development varies across cultures. So, he says that the development also varies according to the variation in the culture. He also stressed importance of language as the root of all learning. So he says that whatever learning takes place, the root is in language, because language is the first part of socialization or for the cultural development of an individual. So as we saw there, that Vygotsky gave the concept of more knowledgeable other. So that means when the child comes in contact with the more knowledgeable other, his cognitive development is enhanced. And who is that more knowledgeable other? That more knowledgeable other can be any person. It can be the parent, it can be the teacher, it can be the caregiver. So this more knowledgeable other could be anyone who is having greater understanding of the task or concept that the child is trying to complete or learn. So always that in your family हमारे parents जो है वो हमारे लिए more knowledgeable other हैं, जो हमें guide करते हैं. अगर आप जो है एक केयर गिवर के साथ रहते हैं, both parents are working, तो वहाँ पे more knowledgeable other is the caregiver, and in the school the more knowledgeable person is the teacher. So this more knowledgeable other is guiding you. So Vygotsky gives a lot of importance on guiding children's learning through their interaction with more knowledgeable other. So that means this more knowledgeable other plays an important role, who is guiding you in your learning. So this cognitive development takes place with the help of the more knowledgeable other. It can sometimes be your peers also, who knows more than you. They can also act as a more knowledgeable other. Another concept that Vygotsky gave was zone of proximal development. This zone of proximal development is also known as zone of potential development, and this is used to explain a child's potential for cognitive development and ability when they are guided by tasks. Okay, so rather than you are asking them to do it in isolation, because there is a more knowledgeable other under whose guidance you are going to work. Now each child is having some potential. So that potential is from within, that is by birth he is having some potential, and it can be guided, and this potential can be enhanced with the more knowledgeable person. So if the child is presented with a task which is slightly above their ability level, then the zone of proximal development refers to their ability to do it with the assistance of a more knowledgeable person. Okay, so there is some task which he can do on his own. That means it is his potential. Like simple writing 1 to 10, the child can do on his own. Okay. Now, when you are giving him a task of a little bit higher ability level, that means now you are taking him to multiplication level. Fine. So now his potential has to be enhanced, and this potential can be enhanced with the help of more knowledgeable person. So this theory explains why some skills present themselves in a more social context when the child is unable to display them by themselves. So on their own, they are not showing those kind of skills, but with the help of another person, they are showing that. So the zone of proximal development can be described as the distance between the actual developmental level when assessed independently and the level of potential development when assessed in collaboration with peers or mentors or other under the guidance of a teacher. That means there is a level which a child can achieve himself, and there is another level which a child can achieve with the help of the other knowledgeable person. So this difference The area of the difference is known as the zone of proximal development. Now if you see, so this ZPD, that is the zone of proximal development, can be broken down into three distinct stages in terms of learner's skill set, so that you can improve his ability with the help of more knowledgeable person. So the first is task a learner can accomplish without assistance. So this refers to the task which a learner can perform independently, that is his potential. Okay, so that means this is his basic potential which he can do on his own. So if he has achieved this, if the learner has reached this stage, then the teacher or mentor will need to increase the level of difficulty of the task in order to facilitate further learning. So give him some task which he can do on his own. So once he has done this, then you can give him some higher level of task wherein with the help of teacher or mentor he can reach to that further level. That is task a learner can accomplish with assistance. So this is referred to as their zone of proximal development. So in this stage, learner will need a guidance, okay, of a more knowledgeable other, so that they can be helped to complete the task. Task a learner cannot accomplish with assistance. So this is beyond his potential. This refers to the task what the learner cannot do. Even if you are giving the guidance of the more knowledgeable person, he will not be able to do, because that is beyond his ability. So if the learner's ability falls within this range, the level of difficulty may need to be decreased to accommodate their skill set. So we cannot take all the children at the same level. So we know some students have a high potential, some have a low potential. So now you have to decide that to which level the child can be taken, that is maximize his potential, till what level you can maximize his potential with the help of more knowledgeable person. So this zone is known as the zone of proximal development. Now you see the inner circle, what I can do. Okay, that means this you are going to do without help of somebody. On his own the child can do. The next is what I can do with help. That is, this is your zone of proximal development, that I can do, or my potential can be enhanced with the knowledge of others or some technological tools. And then you have what I can't do. So this is something the person cannot do, and it is beyond the reach of the student. So if you see the important concept what Vygotsky has given is of that socio-cultural concept has an important role in cognitive development. He has also talked about the zone of proximal development and the more knowledgeable person. That means you can enhance the potential of an individual to a level, and that gap, that zone, that what I can do with the help is known as zone of proximal development, and that can be done with the help of scaffolding. So what is scaffolding? Scaffolding is basically a hand holding. So initially you will help him, like when the child starts writing, so how do we make him write? हम उसका हाथ पकड़ के उसको लिखवाते हैं, पर क्या हम जिंदगी भर उसका हाथ पकड़ के लिखवाते हैं? नहीं. After a certain age, after a certain time, when he develops that skill, we take off this help. So that is scaffolding, wherein you are giving some kind of hand holding, and once you take the child to the level where he can perform on his own, then you remove that hand holding. So this scaffolding helps in motivating the learner. It helps in minimizing the frustration of learner. It helps in providing the faster learning experiences. So this is how the scaffolding works. Now, Vygotsky has also talked about language, and Vygotsky has viewed language as an essential tool for communication, and that culture and behavior can be understood through language. As he said that, socio-cultural components help in cognitive development, and this social interaction, how it helps? It helps with the help of language only. If you do not have language, can we communicate with anybody? No. Suppose if I know Hindi and I am standing with a person who doesn't know Hindi and I do not know his language, then there will be no scope of social interaction. So this language plays an important development in the socio-cultural development of the children. So this is all about the Vygotsky's socio-cultural development theory.